Hello, fellow haunters, home haunters, pro haunters, all calling all haunters. Um, this video is going to be a compilation of smaller video clips and photos of the entire mausoleum build. Doing several videos right now of new updates that I'm doing. This is from 2010, from the 2010 build. Um, some photos to help if someone's going to build a mausoleum. This may help show some of the detail before I painted it. Some clips, some video clips, and some still photos of the entire project from beginning to end. So enjoy, and hopefully this helps you build a mausoleum. Welcome, haunters, to Steve's Haunted Yard. I'm going to give you guys an overview of how I did the mausoleum last year for 2010. Here are some clips of the frame build. Those are some walls in the top front panel. This is the frame itself. I used the cheapest lumber I could find pretty much at Home Depot. The gate there I found at a garage sale, or actually my wife found that in the trash. And you can find a lot of good stuff, around. This was once I pretty much completed the frame. Each individual wall is separate, and I can pull those apart so they can easily be stored. I put a notch in the roof there so it holds together better. It worked really well. And the roof basically just sat on top of it, for an entire month of October. So I really like how the frame turned out. I used this thick blue foam and Gorilla glued it all on. Took me a couple of days to skin it and get everything Gorilla glued on. I didn't measure real well, so these photos are me trying to figure out how to fit everything on and get it put together. I used the paint can method to get, once I scanned everything, I used everything I could find to weigh it down, and let that Gorilla Glue dry. The Gorilla Glue actually came loose on some of it, and I actually need to reattach some of the panels that are a little bit loose this year. So I guess I'll use some screws and maybe re-Gorilla Glue, and I'll figure out another method to attach that stuff better. Maybe get some of the foam board adhesive to redo it. So just and yes, this is in my living room last year. I was building it in the living room. How awesome is that? This is garage sale stuff that I had gotten that last weekend. I used these sconces on the front, which you'll see in some photos here in a minute. But I just want to kind of leave this clip in here to show you how you can find some stuff really cheap at garage sales that can be really helpful for your haunt. Those sconces were $1 a piece. I found those real solid brass candles. This little treasure chest was really cool, that I used in my witches area. And a whole entire basket of fall foliage that I can put all over the mausoleum, around the base of tombstones. I mean, you name it. You can put that stuff everywhere. There's the roof, and then here's coming up is the pretty much completed front before I started adding some of the trim. Those columns I found, my wife found for me in the trash. There's the pool noodles on the front that I used for trim. Okay, here's another video. I was retrofitting the crank ghost to make sure that he fit. Note to self, make sure that when you're building your mausoleum, you have your crank ghost available. because you want to make sure that it fits in there. Mine barely fit, so but it did fit. Those columns were a great find. Like I said, my wife found those in the garbage, and I had no idea what I was going to use them for. And once I started building the mausoleum, it's like, wow, that's perfect for it. I did not do the cross that you saw in the video there up top. I do have 2 or 3 of those. I may add them as detail this year as I'm working on it. But this is a pretty good overall shot of it before I started painting it. Now, I'm not sure where I'm going to put the lights on here. So if anyone has suggestions, please let me know where I can put the outside lights on it. Some close-up of some of the detail. That's the back of the front wall. And here's a shot of the front. Looks like I was storing some tombstones in there as well. That's after I had added detail to the front, some brickwork. I used a hot knife and a heat gun to do the wavy pattern. And the painting has begun in some of these photos. I never did add detail, didn't have time to add more than 1 layer of paint. There's the propane torch I used to add this detail to make it look like more like stone. There's the pool noodles once again to make the faux window trim, which now I've cut out to make better actual stained glass windows.
Alright, well, today was the paint day, and so just finished painting everything. That's the back side of the front wall. Front of it's also painted. These are some little trim pieces that close the gap in the roof once it's put together. The tops of the columns, the roof is now painted. The top of it. All of the walls, 2 side walls, I added the little window trim on the side walls to kind of tie in with the same design that's on the large wall. And then that's the very back wall. The very back wall, I used black paint. I did that black. I didn't have a whole lot of black, so I did the rest of it all gray on the inside, but the very back wall is black.
I know you guys can probably hear my birds in the background. They're chirp a lot, so hopefully that's not bothering you too much. And we're almost to the end here. There's the completed mausoleum all put together in the backyard just to make sure it all fit together and everything looked good. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it helped out. And happy haunting.